Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review of the CW's The Originals. This week we've seen Season 3, Episode 19, which was called No More Heartbreaks. And, yeah, it turned out to be more of a doozy of an episode than I had planned on it being. Overall, a really good episode, actually. It had a lot more finality to it than I thought it would, at least on one end. Probably the biggest character death on the show so far, I want to say, actually. Yeah, okay, because major spoilers if you didn't see the all caps in the title or anything like that. We've seen the death of Cammy, it looks like for good at this point. And, I was eating pizza. I probably shouldn't have been. But if I wasn't, I probably would have cried, to be honest. The whole goodbye to her and the whole, I'm jumping way ahead here, but the sequence with Klaus and the goodbyes from the other characters, it was just really effective and, beautifully done, really. So I want to give props to everyone for, that moment in particular. And I'll talk more about the specifics of what exactly happened with that as we get a little bit further into the video. And, the Originals is, again, definitely superior to the Vampire Diaries this week. After watching the Vampire Diaries this week, which wasn't bad, but at the end I still kind of felt just bogged down, not very overly excited to talk about it. But with this episode, I genuinely liked it and, enjoyed what I've seen. So, Cammy, it starts off with her, being taunted by Lucian. She ends up escaping, throwing the star type of thing. It cuts him quite a few times. I forget what it's called. She runs off to Klaus. But, Lucian, he knows there's nothing that can really be done, so he sort of lets her go. She goes to tell Klaus, and you just can see the rage and the, the anger and just the torment and heartbreak in Klaus's eyes right away. You can Joseph Morgan's acting again. It only gets better as the episode goes on, too. Joseph Morgan's always been really good as Klaus, and he again showed it in this episode, which he does every single week, man. Cammy, she does get a moment, saying how she could take revenge on Aurora just as simply as she wanted. Klaus is going to allow her to do so, Aurora still being, incapacitated in a way. But, Cammy, she's not going to let Aurora change her, sort of win in a way. She doesn't really want to go down to Aurora's level. She's basically just going to be what she originally thought of herself as. And, so you do admire that about her. Davina actually ends up going after Lucian. And again, I apologize if this video is short, but, I got to work a few hours ago, and I kind of want to have time for other things before I go back tomorrow. But, of course, I did really want to talk about this episode in particular. Davina does go after Lucian, and Davina, she has a pretty badass moment. She does this spell as they're all partying in this bar and stuff, and she just automatically knocks out or kills all the vampires that are with him, which is pretty cool, actually. Let's see, what the hell did I write here? I cannot even read this. I don't know if I want to focus this much to read it. And again, as Cammy is slowly dying, of course, with the bite that Lucian gave her, which I should have mentioned again already, it's even more deadly than Klaus's initially was, because again, Klaus can't save her from this. I just really liked how Klaus, put her in this dream realm, as we've seen like Damon do with Rose before. We've seen this a few times on those shows. But I really just liked how Klaus is trying to give Cammy the perfect day, just like spend the day together, get to have that sort of peace and, relationship moment and feeling they never got to really have together, which I thought was really, again, nicely done. I liked the coloring to it and stuff, so I thought it was really cool. Really touching, too. Let's see. And Cammy starts talking about who she's going to be leaving her stuff to. She talks about she's going to give Vincent her books, Haley her dark artifacts for hope, and she mentions Freya and the others, and Elijah her, I think it was like her one of those like quiz or type games. I forget what it's called. Of course, playing on his intellect and stuff. And then she's gonna say she's gonna leave for Klaus, and Klaus again, he's just frustrated that it doesn't look like he can do anything about it. Just this thing in him that wants to control this, especially it's something he really cares about. He wants to control what happens and wants to control something he finally can latch onto and that finally understands him. But it just becomes all more tragic as the episode goes on. Let's see what else. Of course, Davina's trying to find a way. Lucian says there are no loopholes with it. And, again, I was just waiting for there to be one at some point in this episode, basically, but there ended up actually not being one. Again, we'll talk more about it in a few minutes. Haley talks about she's tired of losing people with Elijah. Again, we talk about what Klaus is doing for Cammy with the dreams and the visions and stuff, which, again, is really nice. And, Davina sort of questions why Lucian just doesn't kill her there if he's so unstoppable. And then Lucian says apparently the ancestors who, initially allowed him to have this power, have other plans for her as far as her death goes. And, to ask Cole about it. And Cammy tells Klaus, in one of the best scenes of the episode, just to, again, really well, seen by Joseph Morgan and Leah Pipes. She tells Klaus that he is loved. He has all this humanity, this human quality in him that's being brought further out and further out, and talks about the man she knows him to be. And again, I just really love it because it's really playing on Klaus's development. I just really love when they address that, and I just really love the scene. Klaus sort of tries to shake off any praises for himself, but Klaus has changed. Again, he's just one of the most well-developed characters I've ever seen, I think. And we also have Davina. She ends up daggering Cole with one of the, daggers we all know so well. At Cole's request, actually, he believes Davina can find a way to, control what, it's been done to him with uncontrollable hunger and stuff. But in the meantime, he wants to keep her safe, so he urges her to dagger him, and she does. They share a kiss, of course. What did I write here? I cannot read this. What the hell am I doing? Can you read that? Can you? Let me know in the comments if you could. Again, they get more continuation that really gets in between Klaus and not Haley, but Cammy that I talked about. Cammy saying despite how Michael started off Klaus's life and the things he's been through, the things he's done, she still sees the light in Klaus, and she thinks that's becoming brighter and brighter. And she wants Klaus to hang on to that, not let that diminish, not to let that go out. Let it grow brighter for when Hope grows up, for let her father be this beacon she can go to. And I really think, again, I just love it because it's playing on Klaus's development, which I think has been done really well. And it's one of the best things in the whole, it probably is the best thing in the whole TVD and Originals world, I think. And again, it's kind of like the long-term story of the show, I want to believe, too. So I hope we get more focus, later on, about how much Klaus has changed and stuff, which I think we will, in the later seasons and stuff, maybe. But I just love the moments that particularly address that. Let's see, and then she actually dies. Her heart starts being slower and slower. Klaus tries to comfort her, and she finally desiccates. Cammy dies, which I was pretty damn surprised by. Again, I was waiting for that loophole. I was waiting for that, oh wait, but I just found this, or we can do this, or something happens like that along those lines. But Cammy dies, and I was eating pizza during this, but if I wasn't, I probably would have cried. Again, the acting was really good all around. It's really emotional. With Cammy, I didn't like her as much as I used to. The way they took her this season with being a vampire was more frustrating than anything for a little while. So I don't care about her in particular as much as I once did, so it didn't affect me so much on that end. But to see Klaus lose someone like this that has done this much for him and that has, pulled this, goodness in him into the light. I really feel for Klaus here, and that's what really affects me the most about it. Again, I'm surprised they killed Cammy off, though. I hope they stick to it. Again, as bad as I feel for Klaus, I kind of hope they stick to their guns on doing this, because I think it's a, somewhat surprising development for the series and the cast. And I think this kind of furthers the idea that it might be Klaus and Haley in the end. I don't know. But it was really well handled, and all the goodbyes that, the others gave her, the Vincent and Haley and stuff, it's just, again, really well done. Even Elijah and Freya sort of mourning over it, too. It's just a huge shake around the whole, area, and then Cole ends up being undaggered, and he bites and apparently kills Davina, which I actually cheered during, in contrast. Again, I appreciate some of the stuff Davina's done and her, power at certain points and stuff, but I just find her to be one of the most frustrating characters in either show, and, so I was happy that Cole actually killed her here. I'd rather have Davina die and just Cole stay on in her place. That'd be cool. But as we see in the promo for next week, Davina's alive, and she's just put into the realm with ancestors, so we're going to see more on that, which will be cool in its own right, but kind of wish Davina was just dead. But yeah, there's my thoughts on the episode overall. Very good, especially in comparison to the Vampire Diaries episode this week. Major death, which I didn't really expect them to actually go through with. I hope they stick to it. Great job from Leah Pipes, Joseph Morgan. Leah Pipes will be missed. Really well handled all around, though. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Again, if there's anything I missed, feel free to leave a comment. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and look for inspired.com. Catch you guys next time. Peace.